Hello students, I hope all of you are studying very well and the examinations are knocking at your doorsteps. At this juncture, all of you are, I think, very much tensed and excited about your exams. Well, there is nothing to be excited or being tensed for your exams, as your preparations are very good, I suppose, and your concepts are up to the mark. Now, today I am back with not any concept sharing, or I don't want to give you any idea about the concept. Today what I am here to speak about in this video is related to the last minute preparations, how you need to gear up so that you do your best and do very well in your examinations. Before that, do not forget again to subscribe my channel if you are new to this channel, because in future also when I upload concepts about class 10 and 12 mathematics, you shall be able to get it if you have clicked the notification button. Anyway, the first and foremost thing that you should be very clear about ISC mathematics is the syllabus, that is about the subjects, the syllabus of the subject. Well, obviously you know the syllabus, but the examination pattern, the question pattern, that should be very crystal clear, so that the strategy that you adopt for your exams, that should be appropriate so that you score the maximum marks. So let me begin with the video. Now, you know that mathematics is of 100 marks weightage. Total 100 marks is the weightage. So it has been subdivided into three parts or three sections. Section A, which carries 80 marks, section B carries 20 marks, and section C carries again 20 marks. Now the student is supposed to attempt the section A and either of section B or section C. So 80 and 20, or 80 and 20 this side, becomes 100. Now this 80 marks which is there in section A, that is the major portion which will decide your mathematics overall marks. Now out of 80 marks, the first question will be very short answer questions, that will be 2 marks each, and there will be 10 questions of 2 marks each, so total 20 marks. Now these 20 marks questions are very conceptual questions. They will be throughout the section A syllabus. Then we have the remaining questions. We have either the questions will be of 4 marks weightage or 6 marks weightage. Now there is internal choice given in between the questions. So we have 3 questions of 4 marks of internal choice and 2 questions of 6 marks which will be given of internal choice. Now let us come chapter wise in section A. First we have relation function, which will carry 12 marks. In this relation function you have the inverse trigonometric function, which is, I suppose, a very easy chapter, and you need to prepare that chapter very well, because that is a very short chapter and you surely get a question of 4 marks from that. So that 12 marks, we can think that the question can be divided in this way, that is 4, 2, 4 and 2. That means in this 2 marks questions, that 10 marks, 10 questions, we have 2 from this chapter, relation function including inverse trigonometric function. And 2 4 marks question could be a one question from 2 marks. Let me tell you, this 2 marks could be the question from the binary operation, and this 4 marks could be one from the inverse function, and one could be a type of relation, or one could be to prove any given function. This is all about relation and function. Then comes the algebra part. Algebra part is of 14 marks. Very important and very easy. 2 chapters are there, very scoring, and they are determinant and matrices. We have 14 marks, so this could be divided in this way. One question, very long answer, that is 6 marks. One short answer 4 marks, and 2 that is very short answers from determinant and matrices. Here we can expect one question which you all know, that is matrices, to find out the inverse of a matrix by elementary method, or to solve the given equations, linear system of linear equations using matrix method. That could be of 6 marks, and 4 marks question could be from the proof that is usually given to prove a determinant using the properties of determinant. Don't forget to learn the properties very well and its proper use of the properties. So this is all about determinants and matrices. Now the major portion, that is the calculus. The calculus portion carries of 40 marks. Very important, and this is the deciding factor for your mathematics marks. 40 marks. We have plenty of chapters here. First we have continuity and differentiability. Then we have indeterminate forms. Then we have definite and indefinite integrals, application of derivative and differential equations. Let me elaborately tell you. Continuity and differentiability is a very big chapter. So we can think of getting a questions of 12 marks from that chapter, because we may get a long answer question from the question like prove whether the given function is continuous or and differentiable at a given point. So that could be 6 marks question. So total question would be of 6 marks, and one small question of 2 marks could be of a short to find out the derivative in this very short answer question. Then one 4 marks question would be a function could be given and we have to prove a given expression or a given relation of derivative. So that is 12 marks question could be expected from continuity and differentiability. Indeterminate forms. Indeterminate forms is a damn easy chapter consisting of L'Hospital's rule. We can expect 2 marks question because the solution for those questions are very short. So that is 2 marks. So that is a sure short question. Indefinite and definite integrals. This is a huge chapter, very huge chapter, and we could expect questions of 10 marks from here. We usually expect a definite integral question from the very short answer where the property of definite integral is used and we are supposed to prove something. And indefinite integrals, we have so many indefinite integrals. From there we can expect one 4 marks question, and another definite integral question could be asked from 4 marks. So total we can expect of 10 marks questions from indefinite integrals. Finally, there we have application of derivative. This is also a very big chapter. We have chapters in that: Rolle's theorem, Lagrange's theorem, we have maxima, minima, increasing, decreasing functions, and rate measure. So from there 10 marks question is surely going to come. So this 6 marks question could be a question from maxima, minima, where we have questions related to solid figures, we have questions related to plane figures, we have questions related to numbers. So many types of questions are there, and we can expect also a question of increasing, decreasing, consisting of 4 marks. Now differential equation. Differential equation is quite easy chapter comparable to the others. So differential equation also we can expect 6 marks question. One question could be from homogeneous or from linear differential equation, and this 2 marks one question could be from variable separable in the first part, that is very short answer. So this is 40 marks for calculus. Be very careful about this chapter and be very much strategical about choosing the chapters and preparing for it. Concept should be very clear so that you don't miss a single mark from this calculus. Finally, that is 14 marks is probability. Probability has also a huge marks content, 14 marks. We could decide the marks distribution in this way. We can have a 6 marks question, very long answer question from the base theorem. Usually one question we get from the base theorem, one 2 marks question from the simple formulas of probability addition theorem or multiplication theorem, independent probabilities or conditional probabilities. Both from these two marks we can expect in the very short answer question, and 1 4 marks question from the general probability questions that we have in your textbook. So this was the discussion about the section A part, 80 marks, which is very important and the deciding factor for your mathematics marks. Now come to the section B part. Section B, usually the science students attempt for it. We have vectors, 6 marks. The first question of section B could be in this way: 2 marks from very short answer questions they ask. Usually could be a question from a scalar dot product, scalar product, or scalar triple product, or it could be from the properties of vector product or vector distributive product or commutative product of vectors. Second, we have the three-dimensional geometry. Three-dimensional geometry has, 2 chapters. One is straight line, another one is plane. If it could be a question, 2 questions of 4 marks each, or it could be 6 and 4. Here also we have internal choice of 4 marks. So if it is of 8 marks, then we can expect 1 question from straight line, 1 question from plane, and the choice could be in between 3-dimension and a vector question, or 3-dimension and application of integrals. So application of integrals usually has only 1 chapter, very small chapter and very easy chapter, that is area under curves. Area under curves. So application of integrals could be of 6 marks. 6 marks. That will, if it is a 6-mark question, be careful. You have to draw or you have to sketch the graph of the given function and then find the area enclosed by the graph. So application of integral is conceptual chapter. You need to practice and understand its concept very clearly. And if it is a 4 marks question, maybe you will not be allowed to, or you will not be asked to draw or sketch the graph. So this is about section B, 20 marks. So this is, I suppose you get very easy questions from this part. So there is nothing to panic. If your concepts are very clear in 3-dimension, I think you will score good marks. Finally, section C, which majority of the students go for it, as it is the easiest part in the whole mathematics syllabus. First, we have the application of calculus in economics and commerce. We have 8 marks. We have 8 marks which are very, very important and precious for you. That is 2 to 4. We can expect 2 to 4, 2 small questions, very short answer questions, and 1 4 marks question. And next we have linear regression. Now be careful about the linear regression. You would be asked to find out the coefficient of regression, bxy and byx, or you would be asked to find out the correlation of coefficient. So linear regression equations you may be asked to find and predict the values for given values of x or given values of y. So it could be a straight away 6 marks question, or it could be a 4 and 2. Then this 2 combines with this. So the first question could be 2 questions from application of calculus and 1 question from linear regression. Finally, LPP is also a very conceptual and question consisting of graphical methods of solution, that usually 6 marks question comes, because the solution for LPP is very large or quite big comparable to the other questions. So this was the discussion about section C. So I think the syllabus and the pattern of questions that come for ISC examinations are very clear to you. There is no ambiguity in this. Now what is more important, I would like to tell you, is as you are nearing your exams are on 11th of March 2020. Just 1 month is left for your exams. So you need to strategically prepare for your exams. Now you need not do each and every sums now, because there is very less time for your exams to come. what you need to know is, when you are taking up any chapter, you need to jot down the important points or the important concepts in one notebook or in one piece of paper, and keep it very carefully, highlight it with the points that you need to remember while doing the sums. That concept should be very clear, and the questions or the solutions of the problems which you have done earlier, that should be just revised and gone through. Only the difficult problems which you know that it is difficult, you may have problem, you need to solve it. It is not advised to solve each and every problem at this juncture or at this moment, and you won't get sufficient time for solving so much of the syllabus. Secondly, as you approach your exams, the topics which you are very strong, that you need to revise after every 2 or 3 days. Revise means just go through the problems that you have done, and so that your strengths are more strengthened, and the weaknesses that you have, the problems which you have weakness, that also need to be done. But your strategy should be that these are the chapters which I will target and I will surely do it, and you should be 100% sure in doing those. Secondly, the problems that you need to look before the examination day or the day before the examination, that should be well highlighted, so that questions you see the day before the examination. It is not advised to do sums or problems before the day of examination. You need to relax, you need to keep your brain very, very calm, and sleep well, eat well, be healthy, so that in the examination hall you don't be panicked and you don't be sick, so that you are unable to give your exams properly. Next, the day of examination. No need of panic. Be cool, get up early in the morning, eat well, be fresh, reach the examination hall on time. Don't go before time, so that others confuse you with their questions and you get totally confused and panic of their questions. Be on time, reach the examination hall with all your things, your calculator, your pen, your scale, and your board, whatever you require for exams, you should be there. For the graphs that you will do for LPP, mainly for LPP, the graph should be done in pencil, so your pencil should be well sharpened. For doing the problems of regression, your calculator should be well charged, or the battery should be good, so that you don't face any problem with the calculator there. So while I want to tell about the line of linear regression, that is, when you practice the problems of linear regression, you need to practice with the help of calculator. You write the formulas again and again. Just don't look at it. The formulas are very important, so that if instead of plus or minus there is a mistake, then the whole thing goes wrong and you lose marks unnecessarily. So the silly mistakes related to simple calculations, the addition of the constant of integrations, or in vectors, the dot product and cross products, that giving the symbols for the vectors, those things should not be missed. Even for determinants, the chapter is very easy, but when you are applying any properties of determinant, the property is well applied. It is not that some column or some elements you apply and for the next element it is wrong. So whenever you apply a property, write the property properly. Whatever operations you are doing it, write it properly, go slow. My mantra for the getting good marks is the time management should be very good for your mathematics examination. If you have a well time management, I think you will succeed. I will tell you that you can allot 1.5 minutes for 1 marks. So you have 100 marks, means 100 into 1.5 minutes, whatever it is you calculate, then you have enough time left for your revision, and you can revise and rectify your mistakes later on. I think you will do very good if you follow whatever I have told. Do well, do good. See you with your good results and smiling faces. Thank you.